So, Mike, we're going down to London tomorrow on a first-class train. So we'll be getting free drinks all the way down. So I wonder which tastes better, free tea or free coffee?
Definitely free coffee, though. Obviously free coffee.
Why would you say that?
Well, free tea, like coffee, I feel like you can hold a coffee for like 2 hours and it'll still, you know, you can put them on a hot plate, still taste nice. Like 2 hours later, like tea. I mean, but then I guess
tea in the microwave, isn't it? Like leave your tea in or something like that. I'd say
class, isn't it? So it'd probably be great, whatever it is.
You don't need a coffee lasting for 2 hours when you could just get another one for free.
We can't say that. We can't say any of that.
Yeah, but you didn't say where we're going. We
didn't say where we were going.
Didn't say where we were going.
We didn't.
We didn't say where we're going.
Day trip, bit of tourism.
You say what the f we want as long as we don't say where we're going.
Oh, this is mysterious, isn't it?
Battlefield 1 has so far been a resounding success for EA. It's been doing well in the sales and it managed to reassure fans that Battlefield can still offer compelling gameplay. Now EA and DICE have announced the game's second premium expansion called In the Name of the Tsar. Now what's notable about the upcoming Russian themed expansion is not the new maps or the new weapons, but it's the new playable characters who just happen to be women. Oh, hang on a minute, women in World War I? Women? Women? Yes! Fucking women in World War I. Not fucking women. Fucking women. I'm sure some of that did go on.
I'd like to retract my previous.
The new characters are inspired by the real-life 1st Russian Women Battalion of Death, and it's a U-turn on DICE's previous decision to not include female soldiers in the game. Badass name, innit? Battalion of Death. Like a women's Battalion of Death coming at you.
It sounds fucking terrifying.
You'd just run screaming, wouldn't you?
Battalion of Death.
An ex-coder from DICE previously tweeted how female soldiers were meant to be included in the game from the get-go, but they weren't included because, and to quote, female soldiers aren't believable to the core audience of boys.
That's quite depressing because it's not...
It's bollocks.
It's not what's factually, you know, that was a thing. There was a female Battalion of Death, Russian Women's Battalion of Death, sorry to give it its proper name. That was a thing, but that's not believable enough, so they didn't go with it straight away. So that's why it's coming as DLC, which is kind of bollocks because it does suck that if you want to play as a woman in Battlefield 1, you've got to pay like DLC. You've got to like spend more money to get it. So that kind of sucks. That's the flip side of it. There were female soldiers in Star Wars Battlefront, so that was like, you know, this isn't completely unprecedented for DICE and EA, and they've done it before, and you never like scoff at it or anything. Star Wars Battlefront, but they're just other soldiers. So what's the problem there? This is awesome as far as I'm concerned. And
for all of you anti-SJWs who were almost offended when I bait and switched you just not so long ago, why don't you just let players play who they want to play as? Like, this is historically accurate. Women are gamers too. They want to feel like they're represented in game. Why would you be upset there's a woman in the game in war? Because that's what was real. That's what happened. And so if gamers want to sit there and play as a female, why would you get upset about that? Fucking tell me down below, because people still get upset about this. Why would you get upset about that?
Also, Russian Women's Battalion of Death. Like, there's so many awesome words in that. Why would you not want to be a part of
that? The main reason to be upset, though, is the fact that this is DLC and you can't play it in the original package game. They're exploiting it, aren't they, surely? They're exploiting people's desire to play as a woman. But now we're giving it to you, but you've got to pay extra for it. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. They need to add it in for the core game, because otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to go call for a boycott, Mike. I don't know if it's that serious.
I don't know.
That's a good one, yeah. I will be calling for a boycott. Get it?
In other World War related news, an update to the World of Tanks story, which we covered earlier this week. Wargaming have now released an official statement about their conflict with SirFoch. SirFoch. Foch. What is it? I can't even remember what it was.
Foch.
Foch.
SirFoch.
Fochet.
Soft H, isn't it? Get with the program, Mike.
But I'm Welsh, so my gut instinct is Foch.
Foch.
And I, in fact, got to change that to Foch.
Mike, don't worry about that.
That's wrong.
Don't worry. Foch them, mate. Foch them.
They just get to me sometimes. Wargaming have now released an official statement about their conflict with SirFoch, who, if you remember, was threatened with a copyright strike if he didn't remove his negative coverage of World of Tanks. Wargaming said they've reviewed the incident with SirFoch and have realised they could have handled the situation a whole lot better. They reaffirmed that they are committed to improving communication with the community and community contributors like SirFoch, and they'll work to create more specific guidelines about how to make sure this never happens again. The most important part of the statement is that they acknowledge threatening SirFoch with a copyright strike was wrong, and they apologised to him for saying his video contained hate speech and homophobia, when clearly it did not.
Damn right too, dickheads.
That is in the script.
I insisted it got put in there. People need to come to terms with the fact that they can't be throwing their weight around just because they don't like what people say.
It doesn't matter how you say SirFoch, it doesn't matter how you pronounce it.
You can say Foch if you like, or Foch, or whatever the f you want.
You can't go bossing people around.
You've got to wonder though whether they would have issued that apology if the internet hadn't have gone f***ing crazy about it.
If it wasn't for the Jim Sterling son, they probably wouldn't have done it.
Well, our video, I mean, never mind Jim's.
I mean, that went without saying, didn't it? I was just.
We've got a few thousand views on our video, you know what I mean?
Support Jim Sterling, where possible.
In sales news, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, announced that GTA 5 has now shipped 80 million units across all platforms. CEO Strauss Zelnick said the title continues to attract and delight new audiences, especially as the installed base of the PS4 and Xbox One expands further. Interestingly, Zelnick also announced that 25% of the 80 million was entirely digital sales, adding, "Our business has been transformed by digital." Take-Two also say that they are optimistic despite the recent delay of Red Dead Redemption 2, pushed back to 2018, saying, "Now we have an opportunity to focus on catalogue and focus on recurring consumer spending." In other words, we're going to keep on milking GTA 5 microtransactions as long as we can.
And in slightly more depressing news, after being dropped and put up for sale by Square Enix, Hitman developer IO Interactive have announced they've had to make layoffs in their...
Say it, Mike. Layoffs have hit the team. That's in the script. Yeah, can we make fun of people losing their jobs this quickly?
Is it really good to make Hitman puns about people losing jobs? No, it is not.
Blame Liam, just blame him.
Hitman developer IO Interactive have announced that layoffs have hit the studio. IO tweeted out a message about the news, announcing that some great talent will be leaving the studio, and thanked everyone for their support and understanding. The extent of the cuts haven't been revealed, and there's yet to be any update from Square about any companies wanting to buy the studio. As for the Hitman series, its future is quite uncertain, but IO says Season 2 of the episodic stealth game might still happen because they have retained the rights to the franchise, so there is still some hope that the series can continue in the future. This really sucks because Hitman was very well received from a lot of critics, and I've seen a lot of people tweeting about it, saying it's so depressing to see people who made a really good game, a successful game as far as they're concerned, they're having to bear the brunt of bad business decisions by Square Enix for packaging it up as episodic content and all that kind of bollocks. So IO are paying the price for Square Enix's decisions. I'm sure at a studio like that, someone will want to buy it and put it to better use than Square Enix did.
The silver lining on all this is that Square Enix are getting what's due to them. Like, everything's going kind of bad. They lost Deus Ex, is that right?
Deus Ex Mankind Divided, that was...
and then that went the same way because of their bad decisions. So it's bad news in the short term, but in the long term, hopefully Square sort their shit out and they decide to release games in the best way that they can do for the consumers and not try and focus on making as much money as they can.
Maximum profit.
Which is bullshit.
And clearly doesn't f***ing work, does it?
And finally, after being announced in February of this year, Xbox have finally given a release date of June the 1st for its Xbox Game Pass service. The pass, which has been dubbed the Netflix of games by many commentators, is due to launch on June the 1st. Xbox also revealed the first 100 games that make up the library so far, which features a mix of indies, AAAs and backwards compatible 360 games. Some of the games announced include Saints Row 4, Halo 5, Mad Max and Sunset Overdrive, so there seems to be plenty of variety and something for everyone. If you're interested in the Game Pass and have Xbox Live Gold, then you can try out the service right now for 14 days, and from then on it will cost £7.99 per month in the UK and $9.99 in the US for unlimited access to the library. However, as an added bonus, if you really like a game and you want to buy it, as a Game Pass member you will receive a discount on any games in the library. A lot of games there. I mean, they're not bringing out any new games, so it's like pretty much all the... You've got Halo, all the most current decent
games. It's not all great news.
No, I mean, Halo in there, there's the Gears of War Definitive Edition or something, there's a load of other games. There's just a load of value for like a 1 monthly. Just pay for 1 month, play as many games as you can that 1 month, and you've... You know,
it's a definite challenge to Sony. Sony have got to respond to this. Sony have got to come out with something in response to this, because this is a really good value offer for Xbox One gamers. This is something very appealing. Microsoft have done really well to get this together, and it's a good enough price point, $7.99. The key with that is it doesn't sound like much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds like you can afford to lose that for the price of paying, playing
It's the price of
100
Netflix.
games. Yeah, so it's the exact price of Netflix. So it's a really good price point, really good value offer.
By the way, last week's suggestions for your Sunday News Roundup video were all pretty shit, so just up your
Try
game.
harder, everyone.
Yeah, up your game, guys. I mean, f***ing hell. I'm sticking to a pretty good Sunday News Roundup, I think.
Or something.
Or something like that.
All right, guys, seriously, help us out. What can we call this Sunday News Roundup every week? Give us your suggestions down in the comments. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. There's another video right here if you want to watch that, and a link to Patreon if you want to support us and the channel. We'll see you next time.